So after a long wait, we finally got an announcement for Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, and it's going to be happening in June. I believe it's going to be UFC 301, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. But it's going to be at 185 pounds. Now, that is going to be the topic of discussion today. Why is it at 185 pounds? I believe that this fight obviously should be at the 155-pound weight class, which is where both of these guys are at, right? These are lightweights. I understand that Conor McGregor at the past year has been getting a lot bigger, and, I don't know, listen, his workout regimen, I'm not going to, make any allegations because that is not, I don't know all the information about Conor McGregor, and you guys don't either. Guys might think that you know, but you don't, right? And obviously Conor McGregor has been getting a lot bigger, when it comes to strength and size, and he looks like he's probably walking around at 190 pounds currently. I mean, he is fucking huge, pause, right? Michael Chandler, obviously, generally a big dude as well, even though he's like, 5'6", he's still like probably walks around at 185 pounds, let's just be honest as well. But what is there to fight for at 185 pounds, especially for Conor McGregor, really? I think this is a big win for Michael Chandler, to be quite honest with you. And the reason why I say this is because if he beats Conor McGregor, people are going to be chomping at the bit to fight him at 155 pounds. Well, Conor McGregor, if he does, let's say, for example, if Conor does beat Michael Chandler, let's just go back to Conor, and if he beats him, what is there left or next for Conor after Michael Chandler, if he does beat Michael Chandler? Is he going to now go back down all the way to 155? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to go back down to lightweight. But let's just say he just goes down one more weight class. Who do we feel that Conor McGregor has the best chance of beating in that division to try and become a champion? And listen, I think at the end of the day, you fight in the UFC to become a world champion. And obviously, it looks like that might be gone for Conor and maybe for Michael as well. I'm not entirely sure if Michael Chandler is... listen, he almost beat Charles Oliveira. Let's not forget about that. But his fight IQ is a little iffy, right? And we've seen that in his past few fights where he makes some really bad mistakes. And you can't make and afford to make mistakes like that against a guy like Islam Makhachev, and guys like that. You know what I mean? But for Michael Chandler, this is going to be a step in the right direction for him, just because if he does beat Conor McGregor, people are going to be chomping at the bit to fight him at lightweight. And he's going to get a big fight at lightweight as well, probably in his next fight. And I can definitely see him go back down to that division. For Conor McGregor, it doesn't look like he's going to be going back down to 155. I think that we've seen the last of Conor McGregor at 155 pounds. He's probably going to be fighting either at middleweight and doing these weird, dream fights, which, obviously at the end of the day, I'm fine with. But if I'm Conor McGregor, I want to fight something bigger. I want to be able to go and have the opportunity to fight Islam Makhachev. And I understand Islam Makhachev, that's a tough task, and he's probably going to lose to him. But at the end of the day, what will cement his legacy even further to the UFC audience, to the MMA fan base, is if he's able to be a top contender in the lightweight division. If he beats Michael Chandler, is he willing to go back down? And I'm not entirely sure if he will. That's my biggest problem. He's going to go back down to 170 and fight who? Nate Diaz? That's the only person that I can see Conor McGregor beat at 170 pounds. You look at all the other people. You look at Bilal Muhammad, Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman, Shavkat Rakhmonov. All these guys that are top of the division, Gilbert Burns even. Conor really doesn't have a good chance against those guys. And I'm not saying that he can beat a Justin Gaethje. And I'm not saying he can't beat Dustin. And he can't, he probably can't beat those guys. But at 155 is the weight class that he should be in. Last time we saw him get a big victory, a big title victory, was in the lightweight division. And ever since then, he's been losing and losing in that division. But I still feel like there is unfinished business in that division more than anything for Conor McGregor. It just seems like it's going to be a sideshow for Conor whenever he fights, because obviously he will always be the main event no matter what. It doesn't matter who he fights, he will be the main event. But the problem is, what's the reason for fighting at the end of the day? What is the reason? Because at 170, there's no way. You have a better chance of beating these lightweights than beating these welterweights. I'm being honest with you. When it comes to Conor McGregor, he has a better chance of beating the lightweights in the division. And yes, that even includes Islam. And I know that might sound crazy, but he does have a better chance. Not saying that he, listen, he's not going to beat Islam Makhachev. There is no fucking way that he does. Islam is just on a whole nother level right now compared to everybody else. But Conor McGregor, it just seems like his division should be at 155 pounds. I feel like he will still be a big lightweight in that division, and I can definitely, if he wants to take this seriously and try and become a champion, he won't do it at 170 pounds. It will be at 155, where there's a lot of competition in there, but I feel like if he's going to be able to strive and survive and be successful, it will be in that division specifically. That's why I feel like this fight at 185 makes absolutely no sense. Why are they fighting at that weight class? That is way too big of a weight class for both of those guys. I mean, you're going to look at Conor and you're going to look at Michael Chandler. And by the way, it's not like if they win, they're going to fight somebody else in that weight class. Are they going to fight? Is Conor McGregor going to fight Jared Cannonier after this? No, he will not. If he does beat Michael Chandler, he's probably going to go back down to a different weight class, probably 170. But then again, like I said, the only other person, if they do sign Nate Diaz, that's the only person that he will beat in that division. Everybody else in that division is way too big, pause, for Conor McGregor. It does not make any sense whatsoever for Conor to be in a weight class that he does not belong in whatsoever at 185 pounds. And that's the same thing for Michael Chandler. But the thing is, with Michael Chandler, I see him going back down to 155. For Conor, no. For Conor, he needs to use this victory to go back down to 155 pounds. Because then a lot of the top contenders are going to be now chomping at the bit to fight Conor McGregor, because that's a money fight. Oh, he beat Michael Chandler, a top lightweight contender. Let's fight him. But let's just say, I just want to stay at 170. Then what's the point? What's the point of even fighting anymore, Conor? Give me a purpose. This fight, I can give it a pass, a slight pass. Because, listen, that's your comeback fight. You haven't fought in over 3 years. And you want to be at a weight class you're probably most comfortable right now. Let's just be honest. Conor McGregor is probably walking around right now around that weight anyway right now. And he wants to be comfortable in his comeback fight. But you have to go back down, a couple weight divisions to 155 to really have me care about you fighting at the end of the day. And listen, I'm not saying that Conor McGregor would not. He will always be a top prize. It will always be important, for a Conor McGregor fight to happen. You know what I mean? Because he is the biggest name in the sport. It's always stuff to talk about when it comes to him. But still, there needs to be a reason and a valid reason. And give me some goals. You know what I mean? Like, Conor needs to give me goals to be excited for him. I just don't want to see him fight at 185 pounds and then go to 170. A division where he will be pretty much like dominated by pretty much every single guy. You know what I mean? Because I can see Conor, I might be delusional, but I can see Conor McGregor in the 155 pound division, in the lightweight division, beat a good amount of those guys. You know what I mean? And listen, it's going to be tough for him to do that. But if he's going to do it in any division in the UFC currently, right now, it's going to be that division. So I don't know why they're doing it. I mean, I understand. But for Conor, if he does win, what will he do? That's the real question. And I hope that he will go back down to 155 pounds, because that's where Michael Chandler is ranked. And you will be back in the rankings. If you somehow get a victory over Michael Chandler, you will be back in the rankings. You beat a top 10 guy in the lightweight division. You're already going to be one of the a possible future title contender. Maybe one more fight and that's it. And knowing the UFC, you probably just have to beat Michael Chandler and you get a title shot. And I don't know, listen, I don't know if the UFC should give him a title shot after he beats Michael Chandler at 185 pounds. I don't think that he deserves it after that. Michael Chandler, his last fight to Dustin, he lost his last fight to Dustin Poirier. I think to me it makes the most sense for Conor to fight Dustin Poirier. But watch, he's going to say, let's do it at 170, and Dustin will probably be down to do it. You fought two guys in a lightweight division, but you didn't fight him at their weight class. Like, that shit kind of irks me a little bit. Like, fight them at their weight class, you know what I mean? Fight at 155 where they are ranked. You know what I mean? That's what I want Conor to do, is after this fight Dustin Poirier or whoever at 155 pounds. But that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about the announcement. Let me know what you guys think about the weight class that Conor's going to be fighting in against Michael Chandler. And I'll see you guys soon with another video. Peace out.